Welcome to the theater closet. It is the theater closet because it is the closet that is in the theater. Anyway, so starting off in this section, we're going to split this up into three sections. This is the left side as you come into DeVry's Theater. So the left side here, we have all of our theater stanchions, I guess. So when we have alt nights, or if we have like opening night for the plays and things like that, we'll use these guys because they're nice and velvety. They look real nice for the people when they walk in. Anyway, so back here we got the old art boards. These are a pain. You ops boys that have done this before know how much of a pain they are. So hopefully I don't have to use these too often next year. But they are back here. This is where all the like senior projects and portfolios and all that stuff will go onto these art boards, and they'll usually go out in the SSC. These are our board game cabinets. So for alt nights, like I said again, just any other activities that we want to do, we'll put all our board games in here, stuff like that. So we kind of store these over here for now. And then in front of those, we have our drape. This is our old drape. And I say old drape because we just got brand new drape. They're all drape, but this is like the old stuff that probably has like a bunch of dirts and stains on them. Anyway, so some of these are labeled L for large, go figure. S for small, and that's basically the only two types of drape that we have. Large, I'll pull one out so you can see. This one's gonna be kind of like a matte finish. It's gonna be long, super long, usually 14 feet or so. And they will have a very matte texture. And these are the small drapes. So these have kind of like a pattern on them. They're kind of glossy, and we use those for usually covering up wires and cords that we don't want to cover up with either cord runners or gaff. So that's what we use those for. Back here we've got our regular stanchions, and this is what we use for pretty much anything else that we need stanchions for, to rope off sections, to create lines, all that kind of stuff. This is what we use these guys for. Here are our trees. These are light trees. We don't use these that often just because they're ridiculous to move and they just do so much, and sometimes they don't work, but it just depends. Brian likes to mess with it. We don't typically mess with these ourselves, but we do have them in case we want like a really sick lighting setup. And over here, next to this nice old Mountain Dew tin, not a sponsor, is our stage pieces, and these are our small stage pieces.
Correct.
Because, well, they're square, and the other stage pieces that we have are rectangle.
Two different types.
So they're two different types, which, yeah.
I guess we gotta get into that later. No?
Yeah, we'll get into that later. So anyway, all the legs are up here. We'll kind of show you maybe how to set those up. With the legs, they kind of have pins. They kind of just sit right in here. You pin them in. These are kind of a pain to move too, so grab a buddy. Penny can do it one on his own, but that's just because he's a big boy. Anyway, so that's pretty much what we got over here on this section on the left side. He's walking to the theater, so yeah.
Alright, this is the second part 2 of our theater closet tour. First thing I'm going to show you, there is a lot of these big yellow signs up here. These will probably get used during getting started weekend and nothing else, but this is where we're storing it. So by about the time you're watching this video, we might be into this closet and using these. These big boxes here on my left are TV carts. 2 of these have TVs in them. The other has a bunch of lights in it. I believe it's this one. This one has a bunch of lights and cords that we use on events like, if you were here when we showed, what was the movie? John Duda plays on The Office.
Oh, Quiet Place?
Quiet Place. If you were here when we showed A Quiet Place, we used these lights with red and white lights, and they went side by side. But John Krasinski. Got us. Good old John. Oh, God. Well, go from there. This is the new large drape that Adam was referencing over there. There's the old large drape, and this is the new stuff. So we have 6 boxes full, and when I say full, they're full to the brim. This, I mean, it feels different than the old large drape. It's got a different material, but these are going to be really nice. We'll use these in situations that they won't get beat up, and we don't have to use the old large drape on. from there, we have these coolers that mainly get used during the summer. They might get moved around. We won't use them for ops. We don't have to worry about that. From here, we have our QSC speakers. These are the regular speakers on top. We showed you them in the Stinger's closet as well. But in this situation, you have your sub and your speaker, and the speakers are heavy as heck. So you take your speaker and you set it on top of your sub, and this is your combo for the day. So we'll probably be using this during getting started, and you just roll it out from here. So that's that. And then on my left here, we have these cord runners. These guys are actually kind of heavy, but we'll be using those throughout the year to run cords through, make sure people don't like step on them, break cords.
Especially when we have like 4 to 5 cords, maybe 6 or whatever. We don't want to just gap those down with the carpet because people can still trip over them because there's just a lot of them together. So we use those to kind of just yellow on them, so people are like, oh, maybe I shouldn't step, maybe there's, watch my step when there's something yellow, because like, caution, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we use those for, so.
Going from there, we have our projectors and projector screens in these boxes here. So the projector screens will be in these back here. They might be behind the speakers, you can't see them. And the projectors themselves here, we'll use those on occasion throughout the year. It's not often, but at times. Down here we have our JBL speakers, which I'm not sure how much longer we'll have those. It's possible we use them during getting started, but we didn't use them during any other event last year. So that was about it. And then, I'd say, yeah. Lastly, on my right, we just have TV stands. So the TVs in these carts will be going up on those stands. So if we ever tell you, hey, go grab a TV stand, this is where it's gonna be. Yeah, unless you want to steal some 4.0 mugs, that's this part of the closet. So, should I have gone over these?
Nah.
I didn't think so. Oh, before you stop recording. One sturdy, standy boy. There you go. These are our stage weights. We're going to be using those when we set up pipe and drape. If we're ever going to the highest setting and we don't want it to fall over, that's what we're going to be using. Is there any other use for that? That's about all we use it for.
Yeah, one thing is we could be using it for tents, but usually for tents we use cinder blocks instead. But yeah, those are pretty heavy, so like when we have large drape walls that are going to be 50 to 80 feet long, we usually use those to hold it because using the bases themselves just won't hold it. So
right,
cool. Sweet. So we are in part 3 of the theater closet, and this is the right side of the theater when you walk in. This is where we house most of our lights. As you can see, we got our cart boys here to hold some big heavy 6-foots to transport the lights, transport everything else. On my left here are our truss stands. These boys are super heavy, but they have nice moving wheels, so you don't have to like pick them up or anything, so that's nice. And then we got kind of like our truss stand
trusses.
And those kind of hook up here, and then they hold lights down. So really cool stage setup, stuff like that. You'll use those. So we'll kind of track these guys out of the way. So you have some more room. The basket we'll use for like lights and stuff that we don't want falling off the cart because the flatbed probably won't move that trick.
Right. You gonna pull it all the way out?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like one of our new carts. It's got rubberized wheels with like air in them, so it's not the best for carrying heavy things, but you can still use it if you want. Underneath,
That might change.
that might change. We might get caster wheels?
Mm-hmm.
Caster wheels, so they can take a heavier load. Anyway, so underneath this magic carpet is a podium, and we've got a couple types of podiums. This is our metal podium, and then back here we have identical wooden podiums. Somehow these always disappear during the year, so keep your eye on these, please. But yeah, we cover them with this carpet boy thing because we want them to not get like dinged and chipped and stuff like that. So So yeah, these where these stay for now. Kind of whack, but you know, whatever. Then back here, what are
I don't think we used those last year.
All right, never mind. That doesn't need to be in the video. That can be in the video. Let's cover this guy back up. All right, so over on this beautiful shelf of lights, we've got all of our new light boys, which are called the Slim Pars. These kind of give you all types of lights. We could probably take you through a tutorial of like how to like change them, how to set the lights on the setting that we want. We use these for alt nights. So usually we set up the week before an alt night, and they'll be kind of placed around the SSC. For the singer stage downstairs, we'll use them for that too. Just kind of things like that, just to add a little bit of ambiance to the SSC. So we use these the most, this is why we have power cords right here that plugs into these guys. So that's that. We have a few more Tri-20s down there that kind of do the same trick, but they sometimes are a little louder because of the fan inside them. So we try to use the Slim Pars because they're newer. We got these Chavettes right here, the Rogues. Those kind of do some whack things on the wall. There's like a bunch of different strobes and stuff like that. We don't use them that often, but if we want to like flex on the people that come to our all nights, like we usually bring those out.
Midnight Madness, right? Don't we take those out?
Yeah.
Those kind of events. Smoke machines.
Back here we got some Smoky Boys. So there's a liquid for them. Kind of show you right here. This stuff is disgusting, so don't get it on you if you can't. So these go into there. Those are hazers. So when you want some extra flex and some even cool vibes, they pump out some nice haze with lights and stuff like that. So
on top of that, we got the fog machines down on the bottom of this shelf as well. And so just to pair with those, we often, whenever we're using the hazers, we use the fog machines as well.
Yeah.
So
also on the shelf over here, we got some more gaff right there. We also have this Craftsman case, and inside we got some extremely loud boys, aka air hammers. And so what air hammers do are basically hammer without using your wrist at all. So that doesn't work for you. But
just use those on the truss stands. Whenever we're trying to, or the trusses, whenever we're trying to take the trusses apart or piece them together, we'll use those air hammers on it. So
yeah, these are the trusses over here. They have little pins in them. So when we pin them together and we stick them together, the pin that goes through, we use air hammers to kind of just get them in, and then they're used to get them out too. We've got a bunch of cords and DMX cords back here. So as I explained earlier in the Stinger's closet, we had XLR and XLRs for sound. These are the DMX cords that kind of look almost exactly the same as XLRs, with the male end and the female end, just like the XLR. But these are used primarily for lights only. So try not to get those mixed up. Usually they say something kind of like on the cord themselves, like DMX or something like that. But just be careful when you're using that. See what else we got over here.
power cords for the old lights.
Got
Snakes.
power cords. We got some snaky boys. So what snakes do are basically creating outlets down a strip of wall or hallway or whatever. So basically you can be able to plug in like the power cords into each slot on there, and that's why we can set up the up lights onto the wall like that. So we got some more power cords in the back. Those are for like the Tri-20. Luckily the Slim Pars we can just use the regular power cords, but we have some whack ones that are, you know, blue that we can use for the Tri-20s if we need to, or the 36 3Ws. I think that's pretty much it. All that stuff up there we've literally, I don't think I've ever touched in my life.
Yeah, we don't use any of this stuff very often. If it is, if we do end up using it, Brian will explain how to use it, and then we'll go from there. So,
yeah, I think that's it for the theater closet.
yeah.
Oh, sweet.